More than 1,500 Activision Blizzard employees are calling for the resignation of the company's CEO, Bobby Kotick. The calls follow the publication of a Wall Street Journal investigation earlier this week. It found that Kotick knew about multiple sexual assault allegations, including alleged rapes at the video game giant. In addition, it claims he failed for years to report these allegations to the company's board. The company released this statement following the Wall Street Journal's investigation. Quote, "We are disappointed in the Wall Street Journal's report, which presents a misleading view of Activision Blizzard and our CEO. Instances of sexual misconduct that were brought to his attention were acted upon. The Wall Street Journal ignores important changes underway to make this the industry's most welcoming and inclusive workplace, and it fails to account for the efforts of thousands of employees who work hard every day to live up to their and our values." Kotick has served as Activision Blizzard's top executive over the last 3 decades, but in recent months his tenure has come under scrutiny. The company faces multiple regulatory investigations into the alleged sexual assaults, along with broader claims of mistreatment of female employees in the last several years. Ben Fritz is the co-author of that article and the Wall Street Journal's West Coast bureau chief for U.S. News. He joins us now for more on this. Thanks for being here. As we just heard, Activision Blizzard says that your article ignores the important changes that it's making to become a more inclusive workplace. What actions is the company taking in response to these allegations, and how do you respond to what they have to say?
Well, in terms of what they have to say, I would just simply point out that they didn't challenge a single part of our story. They haven't challenged any of our reporting, said anything specific that we reported is wrong. So they may disagree with the characterization, but there's no disagreement that everything we reported in our article is accurate. And they've issued that statement, but certainly they seem concerned about how employees and partners have responded. They've had numerous meetings with employees to try to address their employee concerns. And a lot of the employees have told us in those meetings that they've expressed a lot of concerns about how the company is run and the things that they learned about Bobby Kotick in our article.
Those concerns, those allegations of sexual assault, even rapes, how long did it take Kotick to make the board aware of those allegations of abuse at the company?
Well, it varied by instance, but to take, one of the primary examples, an employee who was raped by her supervisor twice, allegedly, at one of their development studios. She complained to Human Resources at the time, and nothing was done until a couple of years later. Her attorney sent an email to Bobby Kotick and some of the other top executives. And it wasn't until after, even then, he didn't tell the board of directors. That was the first time the company took action. And to the best of our knowledge, the board of directors didn't learn about it until this year. So it took several years in that instance, for example.
Ben, tell us more about Kotick's role in responding to how these allegations were treated by the company.
Bobby Kotick is very, personally involved in their response to these kind of allegations. Just to take one example, as we report in our story, this summer when the state of California sued the company over allegations of gender bias, Bobby Kotick himself wrote an email that was really critical of the allegations in the state lawsuit. But he had another executive, one of their top female executives, actually send the email under her name. A lot of employees were upset and didn't like the email and directed their anger at her. And they didn't know that actually Bobby Kotick had written that email.
Well, your investigation also says that Bobby Kotick himself is accused of mistreating women in and out of the workplace. What more can you tell us about these allegations?
Yeah, there's a few examples of those, 2 of which we reported in the article. One is that he left a verbally abusive voicemail for his assistant around 2006. In which he threatened that he would have the assistant killed. He then later, she complained to a lawyer eventually, and they later reached a settlement with her. And Bobby Kotick apologized for that incident in the statement to us for our article. We also reported that a flight attendant on a private jet that Bobby Kotick co-owned, she complained that she was sexually harassed by the pilot of the jet. And after she reported the harassment to the co-owner of the private jet, Bobby Kotick fired her in retaliation, was her claim. And then Kotick denied those claims, I should say. And then during a subsequent court hearing, According to court records, Bobby Kotick told the woman and her attorneys that he was going to, quote, destroy them.
We have a statement from Activision's board of directors to CBSN. It reads in part, the Activision Blizzard board remains committed to the goal of making Activision Blizzard the most welcoming and inclusive company in the industry. It goes on to talk about a zero-tolerance harassment policy that's being implemented, increases in the number of women and non-binary people that are employed, as well as making more opportunities for diverse talent. The statement to us also says that the board remains confident that Bobby Kotick appropriately addressed workplace issues brought to his attention. The goals we have set for ourselves are both critical and ambitious, they say. The board remains confident in Bobby Kotick's leadership, commitment, and ability to achieve these goals. Tell us, given the investigations that are happening into the company, given the allegations, are you surprised that the board is standing by him so forcefully in this time of crisis?
It's certainly unusual in incidents like this to see a board of directors stand so forcefully behind their CEO, not indicate any doubt, and not take any steps like conducting their own investigation. They can conduct their own independent investigation of these allegations, for example. But the board has been very supportive of Bobby Kotick for decades. A lot of members of that board have been there since the 90s or the 2000s and are very close to Bobby Kotick, and they clearly are big believers in him. And, we do know and have reported that they've been meeting daily since our report to talk about how to handle it. We could see further steps to come, but certainly for now, all indications are that despite the pressure from employees, from business partners, despite the significant drop in their stock price this week, the board of directors is still very supportive of Bobby Kotick.
All right. Ben Fritz, it's an ongoing story. Thanks for coming on and talking to us.
It is. Thank you for having me.